Hello everyone, Strikoder here and welcome back to a new episode of the OSCP journey. In today's episode we're gonna solve an easy Linux machine on HackTheBox called CodePartTwo. So let's get started. First of all, let me take the machine IP and use mz, or as I called it, export all. IP is gonna be this, then gonna ping that. So there is a little bit of lag over there, but it's okay. Let me visit. Okay. So there is not. I'm going to move to here and use Nmap on this IP and see we have 22, which is SSH, and we need other port. So if no other port would be discovered, then I would play with the min rate. So we have port 8000. So it's either we can use 8000. It's either a service or a web service. So it's not gonna be probably HTTPS. If it's not a website, okay, so it's a website. So we have register, login, download app. I'm going to download the app for now and going to play with register. So with register, I would launch perp and check if I can put myself as admin, change some parameters, check for a few variabilities and so on. So I'm going to the settings, changing this to 8081 since 8080 I usually use that with, as you know, the AD stuff, the Bloodhound and Strikoder and ABC 123, and I'm going to register. Save that for me. I haven't turned, but maybe it's in the history. So it's only the username and the password. Okie dokie. So nothing interesting yet. With the login, I have the intercept on. Nothing interesting. And we see a dashboard. So var equals 16, x equals 16. That's maybe a JavaScript code. Yeah, they are telling us JavaScript. So x equal var x. Okay, so there is code execution. We can try with JavaScript reverse shell, but probably we won't get that. It's not that easy. We're still doing a HackTheBox machine, not tryhackme. So what I would really do in this case is using nuclei on this machine. I'm going to fire that up. We can use the headless flag as well, and we can use FUF, but without the cookie. That was for the last machine we've done on this channel. I believe, yep, that might work. Login, download, register. So we have dashboard, which is this page. Are we having a cookie to authenticate as our user? So there is a cookie session. We can include the session as we can include the cookie session here as well and check if we might have few more pages in here, or like dashboard, then code execution or anything sus in here. But I don't think that our way in here. So we've dealt with login, we've dealt with login, register, dashboard, logout. We still have download. So with download, we have downloaded a file. So I'm gonna move that into here. It was a zip called backup, probably app. So this is it, and I'm unzipping that. So with the Nmap we had only 2 ports opened. Let me check over here. So if we had anything other than the machine name, I would search that. For instance, Gunicorn 2004, I would search for Gunicorn exploit or vulnerabilities. We see request smuggling, which is not a CTF scenario. We might see that in here as well. Missing SRI, header security stuff, so that you can include them as info, but it's not going to give us what we need, which is an RCE. So we have this app.py. I don't really know if it's the same app that we are using. Let me check. For instance, we have requirements. Not found. Do I have a typo? Mints.txt. Let's try without .text. So far we don't know. Cat the app.y. We can use them as well, or whatever you like. And we see Flask. So is this made in using Flask or Python? We can use WhatWeb, or we've seen that Gunicorn is being used. And we see SQL being imported over here and a secret key. Let me copy that to my clipboard. And we see a service is being running on all ports, which is probably a SQL. Get requirements. We have these libraries. We can check for each one of them. I don't have Flask and SQL would have, but let me check for this. So exploit. So there is this CVE. Maybe that's our way in. We need to verify, however, oops, not the browser that I need. So yeah, it's the same CVE that we are getting. So let me copy that, take the Marvin code, and let's see what we can do from here. Let me check the stuff in here. So grab all the password. I'm gonna add secret as well. So we have this secret that we got. I don't think we have anything more. Am I right? Mostly, yeah. Let me check the structure. We have the user DB over here. So it's inside the instance. SQLite 3 users DB dot tables or dot schema. Select all from users. Not such table user. User. Wait, what? Is it empty? Let me check. Code snippet. So they are empty. That was a little bit useless. What have we got over here? dashboard. So we have reviews. Maybe we can do something with reviews. It's not in here, so it's a different version. We can compare the dashboard or the base HTML with our HTML and check if there are any differences between them. Where do we go from here? So here we have nothing. So probably we're stuck with this. So let me check affected version. Let's see affected version. So it's mentioning the Python version. Okay. Chinese, English. So probably we are doing the JavaScript to Python, popular Python package that can evaluate JavaScript code inside Python interpreter. So seeing unicorn with the page off. So here is our way in. Let's see the POC. It's a Python code. Can we run that in here? Probably yeah, but I believe we need to change this into a reverse shell. So let me run Penelope, my favorite reverse shell catcher, and the code ref shells. You can check that on my GitHub as well. And this is my IB. I'm going to do with 4444. Usually with the proving ground stuff, you would use 80 or 4443. 443, 243. We are doing a Linux machine and the standard one, yeah. So probably this would be the code that we want to run. That's good. Single quotes inside double quotes. I believe everything running cool. I ran that. Code saved successfully. Gonna copy that as well. Running that, nothing happens. So this is not functioning well. Maybe let me try to remove it. So we have run code, unexpected identifier. Let me start with the payload, I mean. Token illegal. That's strange. So probably we need to remove this payload and this comment and let it start from here. Line 27. So yeah, it's changing. Still the 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is the issue. Because probably this is the payload. But it doesn't like that. it's inside this. So where we use the payload in here, it's been used over there. Okay, let me try to edit the code in here. Maybe I would choose other reverse shell. Let's choose this. Have I got any? Still unexpected token illegal. Like, come on, dude, what's illegal in here? Don't be like ICE in the US area. Let's try using the netcat. Maybe this is causing the issue, but I don't think so. So I've taken this from here. Command goes here, head, etc password. So actually it should run. That's strange. So actually let me take this again and read the code. So here we are importing from the library. We see we don't need the import. Here the payload, and the payload is being called in this Python function in the main. So basically our main is this button, which is running the code. So we don't need the main and the test POC, which is being called inside the main. So we don't need the payload. Here is for the etc password piece. We don't need that. So let me just copy this and paste that into here. Now in here, I'm going, to take this again and paste that into here. Let me try to save that now and run. And we don't see any. Here we get a session. So basically we needed just to run the code without putting that inside the payload and then calling the main. Or maybe if we've done that, but after the saving, maybe the save is the issue. So let me check. Just to double test. So I'm going to save, then run the save code. Would I get other session or I'm getting an error? So yep. So basically we just needed to run the code without quoting it inside a var, then letting that var runs inside the POC, test POC and test POC inside the main. Oh my gosh. Okay, interact with two. So if you don't know about Penelope, make sure to check that on GitHub. Maybe soon I would make a video about that. And ls, we see the same stuff that we saw inside the app. Or maybe because we've seen that the requirements wasn't shown, but it's in here, that I reckon why we didn't see that. We are seeing, have we got hashlib over there? the same secret key. Let's try actually to check the instance in here. Not with cat, but with SQLite 3 users.db.tables. Probably they are empty because we still have the same tables. Select everything from user. Ah, no, they are not empty. So we have app, which is our user. We can crack the password and try to spam it across all the users, including Marco, I mean. Or we can try with Marco first. So what is this? Based on the previous hash that we done last machine, so I believe this is an MD5. Yes, it is. I don't think it's gonna be an MD2. So in here, vim hashes.md5, then hashcat hashes.md5, and I'm gonna see, oh, we've done that with John. So let's do that with John, and it was extremely fast. Sweet Angel Baby Love. Switch user to Marco or Macro? Marco. And we are now Marco. cd into home, Marco, cat user. And now I would get this and paste that into here. So next, wait, what? I have the over here. Now the hex. Wow, NTLE has got that within 3 minutes. And we with 22 minutes. Okay. So since we have Penelope, we can press F12 if we are on a Linux machine or terminal or ref shell, whatever, and you can upload through modules. Help, I believe modules help or help modules. Yeah, modules help, and you can use run or use it's run. So you can type run and the module name, which is upload priv script, but I want to interact with my session again. Interact. In our case, I would start with sudo-l because we entered the password manually, and we see we can run this as sudo. So I always type that, and I always type that within -- version, but we have the version over here, and -- help. These are the info that we need. So we see NPBackup 301, and then I would go into here, NPBackup 301, it was 01 CVE. But it's not showing the CVE since releases, simple backup. Code2, that's a walkthrough, and the machine has not been expired yet. It's Chinese, so I don't really care. We've almost finished. Is not retired, not expired. We don't see anything in here. Okay, let's move on. So we can actually check how it functions. So we need to provide. So here we see, do we have the last line, a few examples like we don't. Let's try to run a backup. So I will type sudo. I don't think every time we need to provide the full path. Yeah, we don't. Actually, the full path is in user local bin, so we might have access to that user local bin NPBackup.cli. It's by root, but we can read that. Okay. So it's a code Python that have cd, it's not a directory, cat. So this is running external binary sysarg, otherwise. So this is the program. Okay. Let's get back using the sudo. So we saw -c for backup or -b. Still nothing. Do we need to provide anything? Run a backup and without a configuration file. We have config over here. How do we give the config? -config maybe? -c. So it's going to be npbackup.conf. Loaded config in home, macro npconf. No operation has been requested, try help. Maybe let's see how we can find path, forget. Maybe we can use forget then back up our stuff alone. Repo name, we don't have anything related to a get server. Unlock repo, repair, recover list, dump. Dump seems interesting. Dump a file. So actually, let's try dumping an existed file. Or let's try, let's say dump home macro user.txt. Not found in snapshot. Let's show our current snapshot -s. So it's home app. Okay. And how will we create a new one? Repair snapshot. Do we now do a backup? -b. Maybe now using this. Not found the snapshot. Where are we? Inside home macro. Okay. What can we do from here? Let's try forcing a backup. Maybe let's try something in root. .ssh.idrsa for instance. Not found. Let's try using this, but with F. Okay. State is errors. So let me check the flags. Can we do the backup on a specific directory? It doesn't seem so. I don't think so. Maybe within the config. First of all, do we have access to edit the config? I mean, we should, right? Since it's in our home directory. Repo URI. Maybe we can change the path into root. And that's it. We overrode that. I don't think we need to mess with anything else. So even though you can see it's owned by root and created by root, and we don't have over here the W that we can write over it, but it's inside our home directory, which means we can edit that. Let's try now to create a backup. Let's try now to dump this. Oh, it's not. Okay. Maybe -F. So with force we had this new stuff. Maybe now we can dump that. So yep. So we can either get this and sign now with the SSH since it's opened, or hopefully it has dumped the root as well. And yep. So please make sure to like, share, leave a comment and subscribe before ending the video. I'm going to paste this into here. And that was it, guys. Thank you for watching and see you next time.